Hi, it's Professor Monte. Let's look at solving absolute value equations. All right, so let's look at the three choices first of all. Either we have the absolute value equals a positive number, say 8 in this case. Well, remember, when something comes out of an absolute value, it can't be negative anymore. So if the absolute value of x equals 8, either that x might have been negative 8, because the absolute value is positive 8, or it could have been 8. There's going to be two different answers. If the absolute value is just 0, there's only going to be one answer. Whatever's inside is going to equal 0. You may have to solve from there. Or if the absolute value equals negative 3, remember, once it comes out of the absolute value, it can't be negative. So there's no solution to this. We may write it this way as the null set or the empty set, but there's no solution to that equation. So that's the three choices. Let's look at a couple problems. So we've got this one. The absolute value of 3x minus 2 equals 8. So similar to this, so instead of x equaling negative 8 or positive 8, the stuff inside, the 3x minus 2, either equals negative 8 or it equals positive 8. There's going to be two different answers we need to solve for each different type. Let's rewrite that so it looks a little bit better. Okay, so now we solve. We add 2 to both sides. 3x equals negative 6 divided by 3. X equals negative 2. That's going to be an answer. Notice when I plugged it in, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8, but the absolute value of negative 8 is positive 8. It works. And over here we add 2. 3x equals 10 divided by 3, x equals 10 thirds. So we get two answers, either negative 2 or 10 thirds. Both answers work. Oh, we were expecting two answers. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to be opposites of each other. It just happened to be opposites because all we had in before was an x. This time we had a full expression. Okay, now say I've got something like this. What I need to do first is I need to get the absolute value all by itself, and then I can use this property. So let's get rid of the 4, subtract 4 from both sides. So I get negative 2, absolute value of x minus 5 equals 6. Divide by negative 2, because it's being multiplied. Now I've got the absolute value of x minus 5 equals negative 3. Oh, but if I have an absolute value equals a negative, it's unsolvable. Because if this equaled negative 3 when I plugged in a value for x, the absolute value would be 3 and not negative 3. And if it equaled 3, it'd be 3, not negative 3, so that doesn't work either. So this, as soon as I see the absolute value by itself equals a negative, no solution. I'm just going to put the empty set. And let's look real quick to see what happens if one of these was a 0. So let's do another example here, and let's make it simple. Let's just go the absolute value of 2x minus 6 equals 3, something like that. We wanted it to be a 0, didn't we? Let's make it a 0. Well, so either the 2x minus 6 could have been 0, or it could have been the opposite of 0, negative 0. Well, that's just the same as 0. So this time there's only going to be one solution. So I add 6, 2x equals 6 divided by 2, x equals 3. I'm done. Let's check to make sure it works. 2 times 3 is 6, minus 6 is 0. The absolute value of 0 is 0. That's the only solution. So that's the three ways it can be. And notice I just put it up with numbers because I think that's easier than using variables, positives and less thans and greater thans. And I like to make it as simple as possible, so it's hopefully as understanding as possible. All right, like the video if you liked it so other people can find the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you again next time.